athletic injuries. I experienced when I was about 13 to 16. And so rather than getting a second knee surgery, I had one awesome doctor who recommended that I go out and try a few different things. So I was about 17 years old and pulled on a VHS of Rodney Yee. And so it was yoga for athletes. I was in my living room. He does some chair yoga, some really simple, awesome moves. And the way that he spoke was geared towards athletes. So it completely just kind of brought me in, and I was hooked from the second I put it on. But the paths just kind of all seemed to be pushing me in that direction of corporate world wasn't working and was taking me away from yoga, and the only thing that was making me happy and feeling at home was in my yoga practice. And so I quit the corporate world, went down to Costa Rica, got certified with my teacher, Dawn and Amba Stapleton down in Nosara of Costa Rica, and then traveled for about 8 months through South America afterward, just kind of exploring and getting to know my practice now as a teacher and starting to find that teaching voice. Being able to access these areas of your body where we can turn on kind of bigger energy points, where we get a little stagnant in our body, where we kind of hold all of our stuff, being able to access that and let it go or turn it on and liven it up is magical. And it's our real true connection, I think, to that energy that drives us, that moves us, that calms us, that allows us to experience and be a part of the beauty around us. So that's where kind of the true yoga really lives in my practice. The Eightfold Path is my biggest teacher. So it's really about taking your yoga off the mat, because so much of this is a bit easier to find as you're on the mat, and really taking it into your everyday, taking it into a traffic jam or a disagreement with your partner or a chance to connect with a friend. It's really truly the yoga that we live, and so we can do everything we can on the mat, but it's really stepping off and using those 8 limbs in every breath and in every moment, in every hug you give and receive, and in every chance you have to meet for coffee or spend time with someone. It's really about honoring kind of the beauty that's around us and the beauty that's in all of us.
I think I really got hooked on yoga when I started incorporating a sense of play into it and a sense of community building. One of my favorite things about yoga is partner yoga, and the ability to use your partner for support and leverage and stability, and all the playfulness that comes from that. I think that really got me hooked. And taking my yoga practice outside, into fresh air, into nature, that really got me hooked. Last year, I met a woman named Danae Daly who really brought out this fire and tapas in me that I didn't even know I really had. And she was just this amazing source of light and inspiration. And her, along with other teachers like Emily Galvin, Walter Williams, Adnan Iftikhar, who I think you've spoken with, have also been these amazing sources of light and inspiration and helped me tap into my potential as a yoga teacher and made me realize what I'm really capable of. So I'm just so grateful for them for helping me realize that spark within. I feel like my body has always been doing yoga. I grew up with a strong gymnastics practice, and that involved a lot of movement, a lot of fast, hard, intense movement, and flipping and inversions and things. So when I found yoga at age 18, I felt like I could finally be still in my gymnastic type movement and bring some mindfulness and awareness into that. So it seemed to flow really easily from the gymnastics to the yoga. And my body just felt very comfortable in the poses initially. I think there's a lot of images in the media that portray yoga to be a very advanced practice. Those are the images we tend to see in the media, magazines, Instagram, things like that. And so I think people get an image that that's all that yoga is, when in fact it's the full Eightfold Path. The meditation, the breath work, the ethical code, and offering more classes for beginners and for people with disabilities. I think I would like to see yoga start moving in more in that direction, and I'm trying to offer that as well, trying to open it up to more abilities and levels so that everyone feels welcome into the yoga community.
Beautiful.
I've witnessed and learned about several different varieties of yoga. Some originated ancient India and focus on that more energetic based principles of realigning the chakras and allowing the self to expand, to eliminate distractions within the body. And I've noticed the progression, even since I've been teaching for the past 7 years, that yoga has started to become a more popular form of movement, focusing on a lot of strength building and focusing on a lot of essential core alignment, and that being the root or the foundation of the practice. The practice that I teach and the background that I come from is a more therapeutic background, a more alignment based. And for me that resonates because as I stepped into a yoga practice with a lot of uncomfortable physical sensations, I found that the alignment-based practice helped to expand my body as well as my mind and spirit.
For me, when that started was I was in college, and I took this class called gymnastic dance, and the first half was 45 minutes. It was an hour and a half long class, once a week. First 45 minutes was Ashtanga yoga, like just a series of Ashtanga yoga, and the other 45 minutes was how to incorporate some of the gymnastic moves into just the dance. And a lot of Ashtanga was really to build the core, to build the upper body strength, to be able to do a lot of the moves and be able to kind of go from one place to the next and find that transition and smoothness, which was a lot of the flow of the yoga. So my teacher Terry really used that as a way to kind of teach us that it's all one continuous movement, one continuous flow. And that's kind of when I really fell in love with yoga, and I'd never really done it before, and I started doing it, and I just have kept doing it for about 20 years now.
Wow.
It's all about those difficult poses. That's it. Yoga is just about making it really, really hard and looking really good. No, I'm kidding. No, yoga is really, it's whatever you want it to be. I mean, yoga is one of those things that is, everyone has a different interpretation of what yoga is, or could have an interpretation of yoga is. I feel like there's 7 billion different ways to define yoga. And every one of those is the right way. And whatever you choose to do, whether it's for you want to feel physically better, if you want to feel mentally better, if you just want to feel healthier, if you just want to feel more alive, if you want to just feel more connected to the earth, whatever your reason to doing yoga is the right reason to do it. In the Yoga Sutras by Patanjali, there's a saying that says there's 60,000 poses in yoga, and each pose has 100,000 variations. And that's the physical practice. And in that physical practice, when you think about that, there's an immense possibility to do whatever you want. There's 100,000 different ways of sitting. And you could go through thousands of them in the same day. So in essence, when you think about what you're doing and where you are, you're doing yoga. That's the basic premise for me. And so even if I'm just sitting, even if I'm driving, I can be doing yoga while driving. It's about the breathing, it's about the sensation of being alive, and you can do it whenever you want to do it. So for me, whenever I become mindful about something, I'm doing yoga, I'm practicing yoga. What I like to tell people is that, yoga is just a way of being comfortable in your body. That's all it is. That's what yoga is, to me at least.